Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Minutes Network AMA. My name is Matthew Walsh, and I'll be your host for this session. Minutes Network is continuously advancing new opportunities and showing the results of innovation backed by execution. This AMA is to give you direct updates, clear answers to your questions, and an inside view on the progress being made. On today's AMA, we have Josh Watkins, the CEO of Minutes Network, Gary Karp, Deputy CEO, and Vladimir Emrig, who has been leading international expansion efforts. Now, each member will provide their updates before we open the floor to community questions. And to start us off, I'll hand things over to Vlad.
Thank you very much, Matthew. So, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I would like to give you a quick update on what I've been working on lately. My focus has really been around only two things: international license expansion and global interconnection. That might sound very technical, but in other words, it means I've been busy speaking with lawyers and directly to telecom companies to make sure that we can grow across borders and connect our network globally. Now, as a true Dutchman, you know we are famous for being very direct. So I will keep it simple. The interest we are getting is strong, and the conversations we are having are moving faster than ever I expected. Normally, Dutch people like to ride their bicycle, but I have more of a feeling of riding a high speed train. I've been really encouraged by the positive results so far. There is momentum, there is interest, and the doors are opening quickly. You could say it's moving as smoothly as a Dutch ice skater. I'll continue to push forward on these discussions and keep everyone updated as we achieve more and more results. The progress is real, the energy is building, and I'm very confident in where we're heading as a team, as a community, and as a company. So let me dive into some specific countries so you can get a better understanding of what I'm getting into. In the Philippines, we are in advanced stages talking to the biggest telco in the country, which is called Globe. Through Globe, we will get massive capacity to directly terminate Philippine traffic in a traditional way and for a very competitive rate, and enabling an attractive traditional margin by default. We will then introduce our revenue turbine and jingle technologies to the live traffic, enabling margin optimization, which is at the core of our business model. To continue, we are very close to an interconnect with a big player called Etisalat for termination of the whole Caribbean and most of South America. Etisalat manages all incoming and outgoing international traffic for a telco called Digicel, which is a massive multi-country telco. The Caribbean includes Jamaica, where we have already tapped the market via local apps and the Jingle Boost Creator Program, which are both very soon going live. I personally went to Jamaica to launch the Jingle Boost program, so I know what I'm talking about. The Jamaica rate is massive, so when our revenue turbine magic kicks in, I expect some fireworks. So, next on the list, we're set to expand Bangladesh. We're negotiating with two IGW license holders, and that means international gateway holders, license holders, which by law can only be owned by locals in that country. Not the highest rate, but massive volume. So we are talking to Novotel and HRC Technologies. They have both offered us a competitive rate to terminate more traffic in Bangladesh directly with a big MNO in the country. Then we move on to Suriname. We're in direct talks with Telesur, which is the biggest in the country, with Digital, which we got covered through Etisalat, mentioned earlier, trailing in second place. Suriname is amazing, a massive rate of 20 cents. So when the revenue turbine will show will kick in, it will show us fantastic revenue for sure. Then we go on to Yemen, very interesting country. A country divided in two parts, 30% controlled by the government forces and 70% controlled by the Houthis. We won't be talking to them though, as you probably understand. So through a great contact of mine, a local telco lawyer, we're speaking to the CEO of Tele Yemen. So we will keep you posted on the progress on this exotic location. Then we move on to Mexico. Mexico is a bit special. It's a free market in the sense there is no minimum price set by the regulator that the local telco has to charge by law to a company like us to connect the call to an end user, an end receiver. I have a telco lawyer assisting me in a negotiation locally to get the best rate for us. As a strong local lawyer, can get a better result for us than a foreigner. Now we move on to a very interesting country and region, namely Papua New Guinea and the rest of the Pacific. We're making big steps through another contact of mine who was head of a legal large telco in the Pacific and will assist us rolling out in that amazing area. And I'm excited to mention that at the end of this month, we're going with a big Minutes Network team to the Token 2049 in Singapore. And I will use that opportunity to rendezvous with several of my Asian contacts in the area. It will be very exciting and productive for sure. And through social media, you will all be kept in the loop for sure. Moreover, we have Ivory Coast, a low-hanging fruit, easy regulation, and a quick process. Lots of volume and high rates. And finally, some of the other countries where I've been making good progress are Afghanistan, Colombia, Singapore, Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso, Malaysia, Nigeria, Albania, and last, Kosovo. So guys, that's it from my end. I hope you have enjoyed this update on this exciting part of the Minutes Network business, and I hope to speak to all of you soon again. Thank you.
Perfect. Vladimir, thank you ever so much for such a in-depth update. It's a pleasure to have you back with us, as I know you're always flying, you're always in meetings, so having you on the show is great for us and it's great for the community. So up next, we have Gary Karp, the Deputy CEO of Minutes Network. He'll be telling us some updates in and around the business. So Gary, the floor is yours.
Matthew, thank you, and hello everyone. It's great to be here, and it's great also to be at Rare Evo recently and meet some members of the community in person. It really gets a very different feel for how other people see the business and the opportunities that we're facing, and some great conversations. One conversation in particular, which we're progressing out of there, is around Ghana, and hopefully we'll have some progress to discuss. I'm working on that with Vlad at the moment, and we'll see just where that goes to. As Vlad said, we're going around the world on various meetings now. Rare Evo was one, Singapore's next. We've got capacity in Europe, in London coming up. We've got MCC in Madrid. So we're getting ourselves around and about. Very important right now that we are more visible and increasing that presence. And that's valuable to the community, and it's valuable to us, and it's just really expanding the conversations we're getting ourselves into. There are more partnerships coming along the way, which are also rising out of these conversations. And I think Vlad's also been very modest in some of the work he's doing. He's touched on all the things that are most visible right now. There is some very big stuff he's getting involved in quietly at the moment. That's we're all itching to see. We're all itching to see delivered, and is just massively powerful when it comes through. And I can't say too much, but I can say it's around the Creator app. And once you see once that gets revealed, I think it's going to be very exciting for everyone. So everything is moving in the right direction right now. We're very pleased with the LDI performance. It's still getting grounded into place. It takes a little bit of time with the testing and making sure the routes are approved, but everything's in place. It's looking really strong. And as Vlad is showing you, well, we talk about hyperscaling now, which is really is the new focus in turn that we've shifted from this. It's all about scaling. It really is now about putting it onto steroids. You can see the work that's taking place. You've heard about it. That's going to take us on a different trajectory moving forward through the next year or the next few months and next year. So it's a very, very exciting pipeline ahead of us that we've just got to pull down and bring into being. So lots of reshaping going on, lots of thinking about how we best use our resources internally to make sure we're optimizing effectiveness of the team. You'll see, obviously you can hear that there's a real upweighting of our commercial focus right now, and a real focus on uh, tangible deliverables, which is really important, so we know we can see we're making progress and we're getting a hard score on the board, and that's really important for us here, and it's equally important as more as important for all of us, right? So you care, we care, is what really matters. So it's great to be here. Thank you for the time to let me speak. I'm usually kept in a quiet corner. Um, Blog writing occasionally, and then blamed when it doesn't go out on time, but that's a whole other story. So it's nice to get to speak today. I'm going to hand you over now back to Matthew. Thank you, Matthew.
Gary, thank you. And thank you again for joining us today. It's great to have you with us. Okay, so now we will move to Josh, the CEO of Minutes Network. Josh will be sharing all of the major updates that you've been waiting for around Minutes Network and hyperscaling. So, Josh, the floor is yours and welcome.
Thank you so much, Matthew and Vlad and Gary. Fantastic updates for the community. I hope you're all as excited as we are at the Minutes Network side. We are excited to be here today as well with the community. Thank you very much for joining. We are right now in the period of hyperscaling. That's scaling across telecoms, applications, and Web3. I'll take you through some of the biggest updates, including a little bit on Unity, but including also Pakistan, other countries, Jingle, Revenue Turbine, etc. So Pakistan's at the very center of the growth right now. Following the deployment of our operation in Pakistan, where we operate under a 20-year telecoms license, volume is scaling daily. We are on track to hit our target of 70 million minutes per month in the short term, rising to 120 million minutes per month in the midterm. And all while our margins per terminated minute are increasing with the Revenue Turbine. This is obviously all made possible by the license that we've acquired and by routing all voice and soon to be SMS traffic through our proprietary infrastructure stack. Mintech Flexible Connect is obviously involved, and the Revenue Turbine is chugging away. We're in a good situation. We expect it to be picking up pace shortly. I'll detail some information on that in the next few moments. This setup allows us to terminate calls directly to end users, eliminating middlemen and capturing 100% of the call revenue as profits. The opportunity to acquire MVNO, MNO licenses and other established telecom type licenses gives us immediate global expansion. We are securing large volumes of traffic from now, and we'll be lifting those margins up as well. We own the rails, we route the traffic, we drive the margin. It's completely end to end. Everything is in our hands, and that's what we mean when we say hyperscaling. This is telecommunications engineered differently. It's engineered for increased profitability without middlemen, without friction, without waiting. Massive voice and SMS volumes are routed by us, monetized by us, and you will see more and more landing on our network over time. We obviously have that direct ownership in country, and we're exploring other models where we'll be having additional direct ownerships in country. Jingle integration into the telco model is something that we've obviously been working towards for a long time, and now it's live. We'll build a showcase to demonstrate this model in action, perhaps on a live event in the near future. Obviously, we're rolling out this model in other countries right now, including the ones Vlad mentioned. I think next up is a country in the Middle East set to be online next week. We do expect this model to be widely adopted globally because it directly increases revenues and profitability for the carrier. And we're anticipating fast uptake in additional countries with the live rollout that's happening now. The direct interconnections into the countries that Vlad's working on give us a edge and a margin and bring huge traffic to the network so that we can upscale those margins and ensure that we have the best route in the market for our partners and interconnecting carriers. There are carrier press releases on the way to mark some of these milestones. I can't tell you when they're going out. It's at the discretion of the carriers. I know that they're very busy companies. We only work with the most serious entities. And, this combination is what makes Pakistan such a game changer, right? It's the point that we're not just, scaling, it's real hyperscale. If you understand that we are bringing legacy telcos to an application level where we're monetizing applications via these legacy telcos revenues, and then we're doing a direct connection, cutting out all the middlemen, we find ourselves in a particularly special position. So I can tell you that some of the most serious names are on board and due to go live in September. I'd like to say that they'd be live Thursday or Friday this week, but if you hold me to that and they're not, then, but I do believe between now and a few, maybe 7 to 10 days, over the next 7 to 10 days, we will see significant scale in Pakistan and beyond. So I hope that's enough of an update for you on Pakistan. There's a lot happening. It is extremely exciting. We're very happy with the progress. Unity is coming. I can't say much yet, but I can give you a couple of hints here. It's simple, it's powerful, and it creates rewards directly from your mobile phone in a way that the Web3 industry has never seen before. It's going to play a central role in our ecosystem and the world mobile ecosystem. It's definitely going to add scale to both networks, and you won't have to wait too long to see it. So, going to Jamie's comments at Rare Evo, and I covered this in our last session, but I'll cover it again. What started as 25 for 25 is quickly turning into 50 for 25. We have these A to Z customers coming online, providing A to Z traffic from calling cards, retail outlets, MNOs, MVNOs, call centers, and more types of sort of enterprises. These customers are lining up now and will be a major driver of volume and scale over time. Our Explorer, as you know, is being upgraded to deliver a breakdown of all of the available statistics and analytics. It will give us the ability to differentiate users between platforms, revenue created via the revenue turbine and via Jingle itself. So I think we're all excited to see that. Internally, we have a fantastic system, and we're not leaving many of the statistics that we see internally out on the external Explorer. So I think you have a big data set and an additional transparency layer there that will really go a long way. Talking of the Explorer, I know that there's a long-awaited Epoch infographic and buy mechanism infographic explaining the both scenarios clearly. I know that is due. We had a follow-up session on that today. I'm sure that will be released this week. And we have a hyper-scaling explainer video that's due to be released, just showing how global scale is achieved under this mechanism. So there's a lot going on. We're very happy with the position we're in. The global rollouts are going extremely well, and expansion is obviously not limited to Pakistan. And here's what's happening worldwide. In Nigeria, we have 2 clearinghouses almost ready to onboard. Significant traffic with strong margins, and obviously Jingle SDK and the revenue turbine will push those even higher. In the Middle East, as I said, we have an LDI and acquired license coming online shortly, and traffic will likely begin early next week to a route as a provisional step for our acquisition of that license, and therefore we'll see that traffic online on the Explorer, as I said, likely next week or early next week. Gary, I know you've been busy with NISA, the current regulator in Samoa. Revenue protection is under review. We're doing what we can there. We see it as a big win for us in terms of additional revenue and additional scale for the system. The validation nodes will be doing a great job there. And we're looking to expand that principle out to additional countries in the short term as well. Philippines, I know in the Philippines we have applications of different sizes and different stages of integration preparing for the hyperscale rollout in combination with Vlad's connection with Globe, one of the largest operators in the Philippines. So I mean, there's just so much happening in so many different countries. Jamaica, we're following up with Omri and the team. We have an event booked, a technical workshop event. I think it's for next week, and that's looking to be very exciting. There's a lot of participants who can't wait to start monetizing their applications using Jingle, and we can't have, we can't wait to have them onboarded. Albania and Kosovo, much the same. Jingle SDK integrations are progressing and licensed interconnects are close. So we're looking strong on a global level at the moment. I will update you more in more detail in the coming week on several new countries that will be added to the system before the end of October. And in terms of partnerships, we have more than 10 new Web3 partners soon to be announced, with what I would expect to include reciprocal announcements. The WN chain integration is rolling out with the Explorer updates, and the carrier press releases, as I mentioned, will follow at their own pace. So, we're doing very well when it comes to partnerships. I don't think we're missing a beat on that level. Events and marketing. Vlad did mention Token 2049. Gary mentioned Capacity and MCC in Madrid. We will be attending global telecommunication and ad monetization events in the near future. We have an expanded commercial effort for Jingle and for our revenue turbine activities with new sales hires. And there is an NFT compatible merch store in progress. It's not the top priority compared to hyperscaling, for example, but it is on the roadmap. I have to say that the roadmap will be updated. A couple of items will be added later this week. And I think to close, I should tell you that we are in a period of hyperscaling. Unity is coming. Pakistan is scaling weekly and will be hitting tens of millions of minutes per month very shortly. Long-time licenses are in place, and we do have exclusive supplier deals about to open up. I'm very excited for the new Explorer, for Jingle integrations and the revenue turbine integrations. We are driving transparency. We are driving revenues on the network, and global rollouts are live in multiple countries. We also have apps in various stages of integration with hundreds of millions and billions of downloads integrating Jingle on the network. So this is just the beginning, folks. And of course, thank you very much to the team for hosting today. And thank you to the community and everybody here, partners, for supporting Minutes Network as we scale globally. Let's go to your questions.
Josh, thank you for the amazing in-depth update. Community questions. We don't have too many community questions today, as our last AMA was just over a week ago. So the first question today, Josh, is from Dummy. Can you elaborate on the process of onboarding a user into Jingle, specifically Pakistan? A step-by-step explanation would be appreciated by everyone in the community. Is this a situation where the carrier sends a user an SMS and then the user clicks a few buttons and it's done? Or do they have to Jingle and higher margins? Or is there some reason it may take a long time? It seems like we have gone about 3 weeks with increased traffic from Pakistan, but margins haven't noticeably gone up. This leads me to believe the user has not yet integrated Jingle, meaning it takes longer than 3 weeks.
Okay, so it's a really important question. A step-by-step explanation will be provided in an infographic further down the line. It is the case of the carrier or originating partner onboarding via Jingle, and that will take place all at once. When that process starts externally and publicly, we will make an announcement on this. It will be very visible on the new Explorer. There will be data points covering the additional onboarded users to the Jingle ecosystem and just the right amount of revenue for each type of user that's been onboarded. We will also include the revenue turbine in that announcement and on the Explorer. It doesn't take longer than 3 weeks, so to say, but at this point, we're still bringing the millions of minutes per day on the network. It will all happen very quickly when it happens. We're not talking weeks, we're not talking months. It will happen extremely shortly, and it will happen all at once.
Super. Thanks for clarifying that, Josh. The second question. What incentives are these Pakistan carriers giving their users to feel motivated enough to install Jingle? Speaking personally, It would take something significant for me to want to install something my phone carrier is suggesting, such as 15% off my monthly rate. So I can imagine that many other people, such as a Pakistan user, may feel the same way.
Absolutely. Each carrier, each originating partner has their own idea of what a good incentive for a user to be onboarded is. We've seen the idea and concept rolled out of rupees, a few rupees per minute, depending on the sort of setup and the price and the margin. Carriers are choosing to reward and incentivize users to onboard in different ways. So over time, we will be able to discuss these concepts with you. Today in the lab, we're seeing great results with a few different methods and few different initiatives when it comes to user onboarding.
The next question comes from Marked Safe from Titan. Does every partner at Minutes Network add the SDK to their app? And if not, shouldn't that be a huge part of the partnership?
So when you refer to partners, I assume you're talking about telecommunications interconnects. No, they don't. It's a select process, and we select those people by hand. Right now, we'll be integrating Pakistan with the Jingle SDK with all of the interconnected people that are delivering or carriers that are delivering traffic to the network. But not all of the interconnected partners or interconnected carriers are told or asked to integrate the SDK, because in some of the countries, we're just not running traffic yet.
Fantastic, Josh. The next community member asking a question is PW8595. His first question is, advanced revenue projections were mentioned on the last AMA. Is there any new information about this?
When we are ready to make revenue projections public, we will do so, and I think you'll enjoy them.
The second question is, there are several countries that seem to be blacklisted by the rest of the world. Is there any ongoing or potential business with Cuba, North Korea, or Iran?
We do not work with Cuba, North Korea, or Iran as a company.
Thank you for being clear there, Josh. We're going to move now to the next question from Andrew. Is the buyback bot algorithm able to be fine-tuned in such a way as to be taking advantage of the dips in the price of Ethereum? Like today, when it's down 8.5%, in order to optimize where the buyback bot is allocating existing capital to deploy for token purchases in the future, or would that introduce too many layers of complexity to the algorithm?
The algorithm is sufficiently complex as it stands. We are happy with what we see. If there is a specific complaint or sort of constructive criticism to be made regarding the buybot algorithm, then please detail it in the chat and we will look into it.
The next question comes from Kin Kogadam MacTire. His first question is, we have a series of questions. The first one is, based on what we've seen, how likely is the 25-25? We have three partial countries operating now, so Minutes would have had to add another 22 countries in the next 4 months to manage this goal. And get there, the three we have up to 25, based on past performance, this does not seem likely. I'd like a simple, straight answer on this question without any hype or obfuscation.
We never obfuscate answers. We're always straight with our answers. We're always extremely transparent, and we always look at the feedback over social media. It's very simple. I answered it earlier in this AMA. It is very easy for us to onboard 25 or 50 countries all at once, because there are customers that run call centers or enterprise campaigns or calling card companies that engage with calls to different countries. They don't just run one country's worth of traffic on their network. We have several partners in mind for the A to Z rollout, and you can expect to see it happening extremely soon. When we deliver 50 countries, it won't happen over 50 weeks. It will happen over 3 days. Okay, just to be clear on that.
Second question, why aren't we adding new crypto platforms? This would have been done months ago. This should have been done.
Yeah, I don't understand the concept of adding new crypto platforms. If you're talking about making Web3 partnerships, we absolutely are making Web3 partnerships. They have not been announced yet. You can expect them to be announced around the release of Unity, one by one.
Third question, why is the buyback mechanism not doing anything? There seems to be a lot of missed opportunities when the buybacks could have done more and didn't.
So we've received mixed feedback on the buyback mechanism, the buy bot mechanism, and I don't see any missed opportunities. I just see that it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. We are happy with the way that the mechanism is working today. As I said in the last response, if you have any additional constructive criticism to add to the way that the buy bot is managing the buys in the market, then please do let us know via social media, and we'll pick up on that.
The final question, scaling is the big question. We just aren't seeing any progress. We've heard a lot of hype on this imminent and exponential growths, and we've seen very little, to say the least.
Actually, we feel that scaling is taking we feel that scaling is taking place right now. We're seeing the network scale internally to do what we've achieved and to do what we've done in terms of our MVP in Bangladesh, and now to be expanding to Pakistan with so many additional countries on the horizon. We feel that scaling is going fast. Obviously, it can never be fast enough, right? We are people that push very hard for results, and we don't stop pushing until we get those results. That being said, the imminent and explosive growth is right ahead of us. There are several opportunities on the table that are happening as we speak that will each provide significant scale to the ecosystem and significant growth of the traffic on the network. I'm extremely excited for what's ahead, and if it's not quick enough, we are trying to. I can assure you that over time, it will absolutely be quicker and quicker.
Thanks, Josh, for answering those 4 questions. We'll now move on to the community member Rat Pouch. Josh, does Minutes Network support all types of SMS, e.g. MMS and RCS?
Yes, it does. We don't currently support RCS. We're looking into it. MMS we can support, SMS we can support, and voice traffic we support.
And the second question from Rat Pouch, can Minutes tap into the automotive industry since cars now have systems which use mobile SIM cards and eSIMs?
We're looking into this. We have a good friend of the company who's been talking to us about the innovation works at BMW, but it's not something that we're prioritizing. Right now, we are prioritizing the deployment of hyperscale and network scale.
Fantastic. We're now down to the last community question. After this question has been answered, we will move to live questions from the audience. So please do prepare to raise your hand. But now, the final question is from Raz Valar R. Will Minutes Network be able to capture 1% of the $1 trillion telecom industry? If so, what is our strategy to achieve this objective, and which revenue streams will serve as the primary drivers of growth?
Hyperscaling will drive growth immensely and extremely quickly. We own the rails, we own the margin, we own the network. It's end to end. We own the complete end to end product. We're looking at also working with the originating carriers under the revenue turbine campaign directive. And I believe that the creators application, which I can't talk about much today, is in a state of semi deployment as it stands, which will also drive massive growth and potential on the network. The integration of the likes of SEW, Muslim Pro, the UK gaming application that I can't tell you the name of today, or the UK gaming company that I can't tell you the name of today, that will also drive massive growth on the network. These are not things that take years or months to sort of drive growth. They are from zero to absolutely everything overnight as the integration takes place, as the license becomes active, as the carriers switch their traffic on, as the network increases the margins or increases the volume on different countries that we're running. So I do see the potential to capture a decent sized percentage of this $1 trillion industry. How much? I don't know. How quickly? I hope extremely fast. We're doing everything in our hands to ensure that we have a smooth rollout in each country, and we're proud of the work that we've done so far.
Josh, thank you for answering all of those questions from our social media channels. Now we'll move into live questions from the audience. So if anybody does have a question, we'll give you 1 or 2 minutes to prepare, but please do request to speak and Josh will answer your questions.
Hi, Callis. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Second time I get to talk to you today. That's a rare treat.
Glad to have you up. Glad to have you up. Thank you for coming up to the stage.
So, lots of updates today, which is amazing. And so I have a few questions. Maybe we'll just start with the Unity. I know you don't want to talk too much about Unity until you announce it, which is fine, but I know you talk very, or we are going to be working very closely with World Mobile. Um, I've heard, World Mobile provides the data, Minutes Network provides the voice and SMS, sort of been tossed around. But maybe you can detail kind of exactly what the partnership will look like between World Mobile and Minutes Network. Like what is each sort of project responsible for? Will we be dealing directly with World Mobile clients, like people who subscribe to their eSIMs? Could you possibly answer those questions?
Yes, I can, but I'm afraid I cannot go into too much detail as I have an agreement with WM that will release a Spaces Together later this month or next month. So WM Chain, in terms of integration, we are looking at using them as a transparency layer and an audit layer. Okay. It also provides a cross ecosystem connectivity layer for us, whilst the Earth nodes are also involved in audits and verification of the telecom grid. So it's a deep integration. They have a serious part to play in the release and the operation of Unity, and it's going to be game changing to say the least.
Okay, well, I look forward to those updates when you guys can both share it together. Just continuing on here, I'm just reading through my notes here. We were talking about Pakistan and then Philippines earlier today. You talked about how you were using some partners instead of buying the LDIs directly. So, just for clarification, do the LDIs exist in every country? And
Yes, but they're
okay,
not called LDIs in every country. The LDI license is the name in Pakistan. It stands for local for long distance international license, and some other countries call them LGWs and IGWs. There's all types of terminology for these licenses.
okay. And so in some countries, I'm understanding that Minutes Network is going to be um, making partnerships with people that already have the licenses. So will it what determines whether you're going to go get the license yourself or go to a partner? And if I could just do a follow-up with that, once you have a partner, is there ever a chance where you'd revisit it and say, this makes more sense to go get a license? And is that revenue based? Like if you could explain how you
Well,
kind of come up with that.
sure. A license would give us a better price than actually buying directly from the telco itself. However, buying directly from the telco itself gives us a much better price than buying from a third party. Not everybody can set up a deal directly with a telco. It takes some expertise. It takes cash flow. It takes an understanding of the business. It takes several. There's SLAs in place. It's very serious, and not everybody can obtain a license. There are often serious stipulations in place and requirements in place for obtaining a license, and it's not something that's available in every country at all times. If you come across such an opportunity, it's an extremely interesting and exciting opportunity. But as I said, it's just not always available. So we make do with the best profitable sort of margin in terms of options as we can in each country, and each country is its own business case unless you're dealing with A to Z traffic. And if you're dealing with A to Z traffic, The traffic is onboarded sort of all at once. The calls are coming from, the carrier's customers, but they're going all over the world. And then it's your job as a carrier to make the best margin you can on that traffic on the network. And of course, with the help of Jingle and the help of cherry picking the frequent call recipients and also the revenue turbine, we are able to make the best out of those margins for our network and our interconnected carrier partners.
Perfect. What? So we were talking about Pakistan and how the carrier has to roll out sort of the Jingle SDK to its customers. What incentives does the carrier have to roll this out? And like in the case of, I know we've seen with some apps, dragging their feet. Um, would a carrier? What is the incentive for the carrier to roll
So
out the Jingle?
So actually, often it could be a carrier, but often it's the originating carrier rather than the terminating carrier, and their incentive is a lower rate.
Right. Okay. So it lowers their costs. Excellent. And you can always go around them with just an app in that country anyways. Did I understand that correct? Like
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you,
there are several models that we're playing with internally in the lab, and so far we're seeing extremely high conversion rates with some of the approaches we're taking with different originating carriers. There are talks of carriers on the ground integrating several of these technologies, especially the revenue turbine. But these are things that will sort of happen in the background, and the only difference we'll notice is the margin is increasing.
awesome. And the UK gaming company that we keep hearing about, will this just be sort of a simple integration, or is there going to be like, do they? I know they were talking about, some extra features possibly. Will that go live with those extra features, or will it just be sort of a simple integration and then get upgraded as we go?
No, all of the features that they've requested are currently available, and we are in the process of demonstrating those features to the company. The last call I had with them, they were extremely excited. I spoke to the top three individuals. One of them was the head of monetization, I think, and the other two were founders at the company. They're very excited to increase the amount of money they're making from their user base today. They do rely heavily upon advertisements and in-game purchases, which is working very well for them. But with the added, revenue stream that Jingle provides to them, they'll be extremely happy. And they looked at some of the predictions, and I mean, we'll see in time. Maybe we can actually bring some of these different people up to the Spaces events, and we can have a chat with them and ask them to share their reactions live.
Perfect. And finally, just could you detail sort of what else this system that you guys are building at Minutes Network is capable of? I know we've kind of gotten hints of it here and there. There was talk about you guys building your own sort of platform like X Spaces has. And I assume some of that has progressed a little bit. I know it's not the main focus, but what sort of capabilities are you guys going to be offering to other businesses, and where do you see that filling in terms of overall revenue on top of terminating international minutes?
So together with World Mobile, we're able to provide a full telecommunications stack. And we're also able to provide API access over the Earth nodes, the switch nodes, the validation nodes, and soon the Unity nodes. And that being said, we feel that we are the next up and coming major carrier in the space. Whenever we go to any carrier meetings or any partner meetings, everybody's always sort of super excited. They want to hear more and see more examples of the technologies on the desk, right? Like we open up the switches, we show people what's going on, and they simply can't believe it. So we had a meeting in July, I think it was July, mid-July, with some very serious people from the carrier industry, a lot older than myself, and they were just taken away by what we could do and what we have. It is a very flexible stack. It's an elastic stack in the sense that we have so much room for growth. We have so much functionality that can be provided. We are talking to different switch providers on class 1 and class 5 carrier switches. We're talking to different sort of networks, and I mean the integrations that are taking place is phenomenal. As they are ready and as they become revenue generative, we will definitely announce them and release more information. But I should add that very soon we will be in a position to release our programmable network layer, which is extremely interesting in itself. It's aiming at enterprise level clients and customers to onboard them and give them essentially what Twilio are providing today, but a far more comprehensive suite of technologies behind it in a distributed manner.
Wow. I have taken up enough of your time today. I really appreciate the answers, Josh. Thanks for doing this today.
Absolutely. Of course, Callus, thank you so much for your questions as always. And thank you to those listening. Crypto Val, you have the mic.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time, Josh and all the team. We also a lot of my questions that I written up. Well, Callus already asked them as expected. I have actually only two questions, and those are more like short term, and by short term I mean really really short term. When you were talking at the AMA on Notify, we were talking about how what we are terminating on Pakistan, and that you could actually see what was on international calling coming from originating from Oman, and there was some or miscommunication or misinterpretation from members from the community, thinking that you said, well, the next country that we are going to deliver, that would be Oman. Could you please clarify a little bit on that, because there was some confusion about that?
The next country we deliver will not be Oman. It is a country that we potentially could look at delivering. The revenue turbine could work there. Jingle will not work in Oman. We do have origination coming from Oman, and our team, members of our team, were just in Oman over the last couple of days in a very important meeting relating to the Pakistan LDI and traffic on the route.
Exactly. Well, that is what some of us also understood, but just to hear it again in a more clear way. So thank you for that. And you were saying, well, that the next country, because, well, you are one of those guys that can think very, very long term. Unfortunately, we are not all that focused. So you were saying that probably within 1 or 2 weeks we will see the next country popping up on the Explorer.
We're
Uh,
aiming to deliver the next country early next week. It's on and off in the lab environment today. We are getting the interconnection with the customers correct, and we'll be excited to make that announcement as soon as it's live.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for confirming that. So the only question that I have about that is this something like Pakistan with a hyperscaling kind of
Yes,
deal?
yes, it is indeed. Yes, it follows exactly the same strategy. We'll be bringing on the traffic to the network with a healthy margin, traditional margin in place, and then we'll be expanding and increasing that margin with the utilization of the revenue turbine and the Jingle plugin.
Okay, thank you. That's quite clear. Those were my questions. I just would like to give a shout out to Gary. It was very nice to meet you in Rare Evo. So he's always on the background, but he's just a great guy.
Thanks, lovely to meet you too. And I won't give away your real name, Callus. It was great having a chat with both of you when I was there.
Excellent, guys. Excellent. Well, I do
Thank you.
hope to be at the next Rare Evo event. I think. Okay, we have a request from Morgan. Hi, Morgan. Morgan, you are now a speaker. So I think that Morgan is having some technical issues. When I tried to add him, it says there was an error adding Neon Kiefer as a speaker, and then it says Morgan can now speak. So I do believe that there could be a small issue with the technology on the spaces today. Morgan, if you'd like to leave the space and rejoin and then reattempt to request to speak, I think that should solve it, hopefully.
Elon can fix anything except spaces.
Okay, so I believe Morgan has left the chat. Perhaps he's going to join back in just a moment. I hope everybody's well today, and I hope you've enjoyed the updates. And wherever you are in the world, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or evening or morning. Thank you very much for the support as always. I would just quickly review social media to ensure that there are not any additional questions that we might have missed. Oh, we have a question from Rev. Josh, when will you reward yourself with a vacation after 50 for 25? I will take a vacation when we have significant scale on the network, and I will enjoy that vacation, and I will live stream from that vacation, and we can all enjoy together. I believe what's ahead will take people's breath away. I love what we're doing. Obviously, I'm extremely passionate about telecommunications, and I hope to host a Minutes Network World Mobile Meetup event, perhaps in Europe sometime in the near future. I know that some people have been discussing that, and I think it's a good idea, and I think it would be something that we would all enjoy. So, Morgan, we're going to give you another couple of minutes. Oh, we have Rob. We have Rob and Jamie. Hi, Rob. How are you today?
Good, Josh. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. How are you?
Perfect. Great. Thank you. Hope you're well too.
Fantastic.
Super exciting about the Unity, of course. Looking forward to hearing more information on that. Just a couple of questions on the timeline, and I appreciate there might be some sensitive information that you can't share at the moment, but are we expecting that to be released this calendar year in 2025? And is there also any updates on the light version that was previously mentioned and the token requirements that are potentially due to be staked to it?
So the light version will be coming out shortly after the release of the full version. I can't tell you in which month that will be, but I can tell you Unity is right ahead of us. It could be next week, it could be the week after. It's not going to be much longer than that.
Perfect, thank you. And is there still a requirement to stake tokens to it?
Actually, the Unity model, how it works, is slightly different than previously communicated. We have taken a edge device look at things, and we are building an edge network here. So the economics of Unity will be announced along with the release of Unity, and there'll be full information released on the day. So I do apologize, I'm unable to provide you any more information than that at this time. But yes, the amount of tokens to be staked to each Unity operator's license is it has changed.
Perfect. Thanks for the update, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you coming up. Hi, Jamie. I believe we have Jamie King on the stage as well. If anybody else would like to ask any questions live or have their thoughts heard, then feel free to jump in. So I think that Jamie is having some connection difficulties today, and I don't see that Morgan has returned.
Yes, apologies. I am having connections. I keep losing audio and having to leave and restart.
That's okay. We can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm very good. It's been a fantastic AMA. Appreciate I get to listen in as I'm on the road. The updates from Vlad and Gary and all the community. So I didn't mean to interrupt.
Not at all. You're never interrupting. We understand you're on the road, and we appreciate your support. Thank you very much, Jamie. Fantastic. Thank you for coming up. Arvi, we have Arvi. Hi, Arvi. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you, Josh. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Josh, the last AMA, you told us we were supposed to get an update on Sue on the next AMA. So I was expecting some more news about Sue, SEW. That's my
Okay.
question.
Yes. So SEW is moving ahead. It's a little bit slower than we previously anticipated. We are due a call with the CEO and CTO very soon. It has been requested. I would have liked to have had more information for you today, but all I can tell you is that SEW are integrating the SDK and plugin, and it will be integrated soon. And when it's integrated, it's a monumental moment for us as a network. I'd just like to remind you that Muslim Pro application are also integrating, as are Boss Revolution, as are the large UK gaming company that I mentioned. We're likely to have them integrating the SMS component shortly as well. So there are just so many applications, and multiple of them have 1 billion plus downloads. They're all moving at a different pace, and I'd like to be able to say that one of them was finished today, but sadly I can't give you that fantastic news just yet. As soon as one of them finishes the integration, it will definitely be announced immediately, and you will see the uptick in traffic on the network.
Thanks, Josh, and thanks, team, as well.
Thank you, Avi. We appreciate the question, and thank you for coming up. Do we have anyone else who would like to ask any questions live today? I don't see that Morgan has joined again, sadly. So I think he might be having some connectivity issues. I think that kind of wraps it up for today, folk. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much to the communities, the partners, and the team. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We will see you again extremely soon, perhaps on the launch of Unity in the next week or two. I appreciate your time. All the best. Every minute counts, guys. Thank you.